Coach, do you want to start with just kind of an opening statement about the game as a whole and the team's performance?
Sure, absolutely. Anytime you can get a shutout out of your defense, and I thought they dominated today in all phases, really limited what they were doing in the passing game and the run game. Thought we did a great job on third down defensively. Kicking game, once again, very solid. Did some good things in the kicking game. Offensively, I thought we played really, really well with the exception of 5 plays, the four fumbles, and then we didn't make a 4th and 1 that we've got to be able to make that and convert that. But with the exception of those 5 plays, I thought the intensity out there was really good. Even on those fumbles, we did a great job blocking. Some of those runs were pretty good runs. We just didn't hold on to the football. So we got to get better. There's no question about it. But more than anything, and I told these guys in the locker room, it's a win. And when you can turn the ball over that many times and still win the football game the way we did, that's a sign of a good team. And we just got to get better at the little things that we didn't do as good as we usually do today. And this football team is going to be all right. And our focus has to be on that improvement every single week.
You were without Tommy Scott today and some other guys. Talk about kind of that running back by committee performance today.
Well, you just talked to Nate Moore. He had his first start, redshirt freshman. Thought he ran the ball really well. Thought he really did a good job of running the ball, reading his keys. Nate McCrary, a lot of carries, imposed his will. You're talking about a true freshman, second game of his career. I thought he did some good things. Caught a couple passes. So, and then we threw Dejan and Myrick at him, and I thought they had some nice runs. It's one of those things where we're really deep at that position. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we'd love for Tommy to play today, but we'll have him back for next week, and he adds a lot to that group as well.
3 early turnovers for the offense. What was the message in the huddle and talking to the team to get the squad back on track?
There wasn't a lot of panic, but if you knew how hard we worked on a daily basis at ball security, you'd realize how disappointed and frustrated those 3 plays were. But, nobody got their butts chewed out or anything like that. We just picked those guys up mentally. You could hear and see it from the defense. They said, "Don't worry about it. We'll get the stop. We'll get the ball back," and we were really poised. As I said, there was never a level of frustration. And then on those last 2 possessions of the first half, we ended up turning those into points. So, as I said, a little frustrating because we worked so hard at it, and we've done such a good job at it these last 2 years. So we'll get better at it. We've got strong backs. They know how to carry the football, and today was a good lesson for them. They got to do a little bit better job. But at the end of the day, like I said, we turned it over that many times and still came out with a dominating performance. So we'll take it and regroup this week in that department and get better and get ready for Wayne.
What's your evaluation of Ryan's performance today?
Once again, I thought he played really well. I think the thing he did really well today was finding his second and third receiver. He did that a few times. But on the plays we had guys open down the field, extremely accurate. Extremely accurate. Voltaggio was open right before the half, hit him in stride. The ball he threw to Galliard on that 80-yard touchdown, right in his hands. Didn't break stride for it. And we had a couple of drops. But I think the 2 things where I've seen him get so much better is, number one, he's doing a lot better job reading the defense, understanding his progression and his reads, and his accuracy's really improved because he's worked really hard at it.
What does it say about this year's defense to come out with a shutout in the home opener?
I think last week was a little bit of a preview. They held Alderson brought us to 8 yards rushing. And then to come up big today with the shutout, it's hard to shut anybody out, So I think it says that this is a really good group. The thing that was impressive there at the end of the game, we had a redshirt freshman get an interception. Earlier in the game, we had a redshirt freshman get an interception. And we did have the turnover on the fumble. So I think the big thing is continue to create turnovers, continue to get big stops. There's a little bit of bend but don't break on a couple drives. But I think our defense is running the football really well, and there's a lot of guys playing out there.
Yeah.
I mean, we empty the bench once again on defense today, and you see guys that are on that second team and in some cases the third team out there making plays. So we got a lot of depth. We got to keep those guys healthy and keep getting better.
Yeah. Last question from me: what will be most important this week in preparing for Wayne State next Saturday?
Same as last week. We got to get better. You make those improvements. Our guys do a great job of watching film. I think their preparations in terms of preparing for an opponent and the opponent's scheme is really good. But they got to carry it over to practice and clean up a couple of these mistakes. and continue to improve as a football team. And that means everyone getting better as a football player. Less drops, better ball security, a little bit better alignment, better angles. And whatever it is we got to get better at, really emphasize those things this week.